watts on a good old dipole, and that's what I'm using, and my transceiver is a Kenwood TSA 30 sugar. My name is Jerry, Germany, EC, radio, you see, Jerry, and I'm just outside the city of London. This London is right down on the southeast tip of the continent. Kilowatt 0 Delta Golf ZS2 Japan Lima.
Okay, roger, Jerry. Boy, beautiful signal, just like next door. And we've got QTH there, and the TSA 30S and the dipole are doing a great job. Really great job, that's for sure. No problem at all copying it. So we're looking at maybe sticking up a different antenna here this spring. We're looking at that log periodic, the log periodic from Canada. So maybe I don't know. Maybe we'll look at that up this spring. Maybe we'll wait a while. It depends. We just put the tower up last year, Jerry. So that's we put the A3S on, which is our portable antenna, and it's a little beat up. It's been dropped a lot in field days and portable operation, that kind of thing. And it's got pieces of about 4 or 5 other antennas patched into it, but it works okay. So that's what's up for the time being. And fine business. It's boy, great signal. Very, very good to hear you on here this morning. I thought maybe 10 meters was in some pretty tough shape here, just listening around the band a little earlier. I was sitting here working on QSLs, catching up on QSLs and mostly listening. And I did make a couple of calls to the other ZS2 there. But it sounded like he was working into Europe there, probably headed due north or so. But there you were. I heard you called the G0, and I thought, gee, was that really a ZS2? I can't believe that kind of a signal. And on 100 watts of dipole, wow. So you must have pretty good conditions there in East London, Jerry. Anyway, yeah, the weather here looks like it's going to be a very nice day. Finally, spring has sprung, they say. So we're looking forward to a very productive summer here. The weather's been kind of up and down, and we're thinking that this summer should be a good one. We want to do some antenna work and work on the ground system, and we're looking forward to that good weather so we can get outside. Getting a little tired of being cooped up down here in the basement shack. The setup is in the basement, and here this winter I've been hanging out down here playing with the radio, and the XYL has been upstairs reading books. So that's how we spend our winter, just waiting for the weather to break, Jerry. And then as to Julian Lima, what did you say? Jumping Lion. This is Kilowatt 0 Delta Golf. Back to you, Jerry. Over.
Kilowatt 0 Delta Golf, ZS2 Jungle Lion. Jungle Lion. That's what I always sign on 10 meters. And by the way, I'm 83 years young. I am 83 years young. And I'm rather surprised that 10 meters is open at all, because solar cycle 23 seems to have gone down the drain a little bit. I don't know how you find it, but 17 meters is alright, 12 meters is alright, and some of the times I find 15 very unstable. And I'm on a small farm, but I am not a South African. I originate from England. But I've been in Africa many years. I've spent 40 years up in Zimbabwe, which is up the road, Zimbabwe. And I've spent 40 years up there when it was Rhodesia. Then they changed the name to Zimbabwe. Yes, another ZS2 was coming into me very well. He was working stations. He's about 200 miles down the road. He's about 200 miles away from me, so I was rather surprised to get the ZS2 and talking to a British station and getting the British station as well. K0 Delta Golf ZS2 Japan Lima. Come in, Dick.
Oh, roger, Jerry. Yeah, well, I tell you, 10 has been really up and down, but you know, like always when it is in, it's pretty cool. But I guess we're getting toward the tail end of the cycle, so who knows what we're up against here. Probably have a dry period for 5-6 years, get back down on 20, maybe up 17, and see how they work out. So another reason I want to get the log periodic up, I've got a folded dipole here now that I run on 12 and 17. If I get the log up there, I'll have a bit of gain antenna for those bands also. The folded dipole works pretty well, but I don't know, doesn't seem to work that well for DX, although it's pretty good stateside here. And we use it a lot during the stateside contests, November sweepstakes and that kind of thing. The H here, Jerry, is 60, so you've got a few on me. And fine business on being up in Rhodesia and Zimbabwe. I'm old enough that I remember Rhodesia. I suppose some of the younger guys might not have. We've also been watching with interest here the political situation up there, which doesn't look all that pleasant right now, that's for sure. Seems like there's a lot of that going on in the world, and it's very unfortunate. I hoped, my dad was killed in the Second World War, Jerry, and I guess I always hoped that I was told that was the war to end all wars. And I guess somebody was blowing smoke when they told me that. Anyway, just a little bit about the area here. We're right on the Missouri River. We call it the Muddy Missouri. Just a few miles here, we'd be in Iowa, and you'd have to talk to an Iowegian, but you lucked out and got in Nebraska. I hope they're not listening to you over there. I'll catch a lot of heck at the next club meeting. But anyway, the Missouri River used to be back in the 1800s was a big waterway up into the north and the northwest here from St. Louis and points south. A lot of fur trapping and a lot of Indian trade with the Native American Indians back probably around the 1820s into the 1850s. And of course, the American Civil War in the 1860s kind of shifted a lot of the activity out east again. And the Indian Wars then picked up here 65 through 80, 1880, a lot of activity, a lot of things going on, a lot of settlements. And a railroad going through Omaha was a big point of the Union Pacific Railroad. Came out from the east, and then they started going to the west from Omaha here. And also they started going east from California, and they met in Promontory Point, Utah there, where they drove the Golden Spike. I guess that was, I'm not sure what the date was on that. I'd have to look back in my history books, but it was helped settle the West a lot. That was the railroad, of course, made that all happen. So Omaha is pretty much a pretty historic kicking off place for the Oregon Trail and a lot of the European settling activity that went on here back in the 1800s. Anyway, that's a little rundown on the area here. It's primarily agricultural. I heard you say you're on a farm there. I was raised on a farm in a little town called Pierce, Nebraska, which is about 110 miles north of here. And I guess we had, when I was a kid, about 160 acres, and we rented and farmed some other land besides. And then I gravitated into the computer business and did that for 30 years, I guess, 35 years, and retired here a few years ago. So that's the whole rundown, Jerry. And really enjoying ham radio. Been doing this about 35 years, but I've been really active here now the last couple of years and having a lot of fun with it. ZS2, Jungle Lion, this is K0DG, Delta Golf, back to you, Jerry, over.
K0DG, Delta Golf, ZS2, Japan, Lima, fine. We might have worked before, but I was very active up in Rhodesia. My call sign up there was Zulu, Echo, number 6, Jungle Lion, Zulu, Echo, number 6, Jungle Lion. And when I came down here, I managed to keep the suffix of Jungle Lion and picked up Division 2, ZS2. This area is the Eastern Cape. So I picked up the ZS2 call and managed to get the Jungle Lion suffix which I wanted. So there you have it. And yes, I'm not surprised that 10 meters is still operating slightly. I do a lot of work on the different bands listening because I do a DX bulletin report for our club bulletin every Sunday morning. We have a club bulletin. I do the DX report. I had 3 towers, Dick. I had 3 towers. I have a 50-foot tower with a 4-element monobander for 20. I have another 50-foot tower with a 4-element monobander for 15. Then I ran out of tuning, and I made a 3-element for 17, which I got on a homebrew tower. So I've got 3 towers with 3 monoband beams. I ran out of aluminum tubing. The only tubing you can buy here and two wouldn't last 5 minutes. So I put up a wire antenna for 10 meters. K0DG, ZS2 Jungle Lion.
Oh, Roger, Jerry. Yeah, ZS2JL, K0DG. Yeah, you know, I saw some of the guys in England here, just a month or so ago, and they were having terrific winds there also. A lot of the guys lost their antenna systems, and that was a real mess. And I know, down around your area, you live in, I was looking back here, it's been, I guess, in the contest I worked down, I had a ranch with a fellow maybe about a month ago, and we talked a little bit about the conditions and about the wind. And we get some here in the Midwest that's not so bad until it's tornado season. And of course, tornadoes are they're no fun to be around here, but most of the time we don't get real high winds. Occasionally we'll get a real buster coming through here, and it'll raise havoc with the antennas. And I kind of wonder, you were saying that the aluminum is hard to come by. Is aluminum manufactured there, or do you import it, or is there a tariff on it, or I'd be interested in just how you get the stuff or where it comes from. There are several different outlets here that we use in the States to build our own antennas. And it's all, usually it's a T6 kind of thing, I think is the nomenclature on it. And some of the guys use that a lot. It's very, very interesting, the towers that you've got up there. You must have a more understanding XYL than I am, because I had to do a lot of pleading here, and put out a lot of IOUs to get my single 50-footer out there. And in fact, I was next the other night. I said, you know, it sure would be nice to have a VHF tower out there. And she said, well, you can have a lot of fun taking care of yourself and cooking your own meals, and send me an hourly check too if you go stick another tower out there. She has to mow around him. She likes to do the mowing, so she says she doesn't want to be dodging. We got about 400 trees on the property, Jerry, so she's dodging the trees and the tower and a couple other poles, of course, too, that are out there to support some of the wire antennas. So I don't know if I could, probably I guess I could work a deal if I could get rid of some of those other poles and then forget about it. I don't know. Maybe you got some hints for me on that. Try business on the DX bulletin. I don't know, I usually, when I'm down here, I listen around a lot while I'm working on projects. I also do a lot of electronic work. And I do a lot of listening, probably more listening than John. But occasionally we get on here, and I see with when the band is like this, gee, this is like a next door contact, like a 2 meter hookup, so what the heck. Mike, back to you, Jerry. ZS2, I almost went back to Rhodesia there with the things. I wrote it down here. I'm going to check the log. My logs back there are all paper logs, but I'm going to look through there and see if it works. ZS2, Jungle Lion, Kilo 10 Delta Golf, over.
Kilo 10 Delta Golf, ZS2 Japan Lima. It's been a little bit shift. Are you still reading me, Dick?
Oh, Roger. You're still there. About a 5 by 5 to 5'7" now, Jerry, over.
Yeah, there's been a slight change. As long as you're still reading me. I don't like sitting on contact. I like to have a chat and get to know a person. I did most of my schooling in South America. I haven't been to the States, and I did most of my schooling in South America. I still speak Spanish reasonably fluently. We can cope with Japanese, and we can cope with Hebrew and a certain amount of French. So the languages are useful, but English is paramount. Most times have a good smattering of half English language, which is a very hard language to learn anyhow, but we get by, that's the main thing. Fine. Yes, I say aluminum tubing is not easy to come by, not decent aluminum tubing. What I do is sometimes people get rid of their beams, and that's how I managed to collect enough tubing from old beams, and then by putting the different things together, I managed to make up a 20-meter 4-element, a 15-meter 4-element, and a 3-element 17. I just didn't have enough aluminum tubing to make a 4-element 17. So now I've got dipoles up for 10, 12, 20. I've also got a beam for 20, but I've got a dipole for 20, 40, 80, and I did have one for 160, but I took it down. So there you have it. And I spend a lot of time reading and writing. I do a lot of writing. I've had 2 books published. Delta Golf, ZS2 Jungle Lion.
ZS2JL, K0DG. Okay, well, fine business, Jerry. I'll tell you, you'd be a hit with the XYL. That's her after taking a hobby too. She's got a little aviary there in the backyard where she feeds birds and puts up birdhouses. And she sits up there a lot reading her books and with the binoculars. And she really watches if she gets a real bang out of that. And when we travel into the Southwest, she likes to do a lot of bird watching and animal watching. And so that would be a real hit. I'm going to check on the internet if that book is still in print. I think I'll order it, and it'd be a kind of a nice anniversary present or something for her. She'd really enjoy that. It's amazing what hands do when you do, like you say, when you get to know each other and start talking about other hobbies and things that are of interest. It's amazing. I've always found that hand radio operators are interested in a lot of things. I think it just goes with the natural inquisitiveness that starts us all out in this hobby anyway. And particularly the person-to-person communications. A lot of kids will ask me today, what's the big advantage of ham radio over the internet? Because they're all over the internet, where of course we're trying to recruit younger hands. And about the only way I can explain it to them is to get them in here, give them a demonstration, and show them the QSO cards. That always really interests everybody, all the QSO cards hanging on the wall. I guess it makes that person-to-person connection really pop out to them. They can see all the dials and all the meters and all the gear in the world, and it doesn't impress them as much as the person-to-person aspect of ham radio. Anyway, that's very interesting, and I'm going to check that out, see if I can find that book that you might be able to tell us is still in print, Jerry. ZS2 Delta Lima. That's your name. Down here right along the line to the Lima station. ZS2 Jungle Lion, K0DG Delta Golf. Back to you, Jerry.
Yeah, conditions are changing, Dick. You've gone down to about a 3, but I didn't miss anything. How are you copying me?
Okay, you're still good. You're still at about a best 5 to 7, so we're copying you okay, Jerry. Go ahead.
Okay, I didn't want to lose you. You're fine. And I like under an undertone. The undertone is tie B. Tie B. That's Tango Yankee -B Beta. Tie B. Because my surname is very long. My surname is Tainan Grunder, which is very long, so I abbreviated it to tie B, which I use as an undertone. The last book was published in London, England in 1994, 95. I've got 4 or 5 more books ready, but I haven't been able to get a publisher. Getting a publisher is a different story altogether. And they seem to be a breed of their own. And there you are. All right, well, we've had a pretty good run. We've had a good 25 minutes. Before I lose you, because it is changing, I better say good night. Good night from this. It's just about to get dark here. Good night from this side of the world. Good morning to you. Enjoy the rest of the weekend. And make it a point to keep my ears open for you when I'm on 10 meters. Maybe on 17 as well, because I do a lot of working on 17 every weekday. I speak to Georgia and Indiana on a regular schedule, every day on a regular schedule, around 18.145 at 1930 Greenwich, at 1930 UTC. And I speak to my friends in Georgia and Indiana and Louisiana. The 4 of us get together and have a good talk. So maybe we will find you on 17 sometime. Take care. My kindest regards and love to your wife from this end, from my wife. By the way, at the end of this month, I've been married 59 years. Next year is my diamond. 60. We've been married 59 years. I used to fly airplanes, and that's how I met my wife. I used to fly airplanes at one time. Go ahead, Dick, for a final.
Okay, Roger. Well, congratulations. Congratulations, Jerry. That's a heck of an accomplishment, that's for sure. We're on our 36th here, so we're about 24 years behind you on that score, too. Gee whiz, I don't know if I'll ever catch up with you. It sure doesn't sound like it. Yeah, thanks for the info on the 17-meter get-together there. As soon as I get some 17-meter stuff up here, I'll listen on that with the dipole. Maybe I can hear you on that too. It might work okay. And we'll see what happens. So we look forward to chatting with you and the other guys there. So we'll certainly do that. In the meantime, it's been really, really enjoyable. I've had a great time here. Spent the last half an hour with you. And we'll want to do it many, many more times. So we'll pass on our 73s. And wish you a very, very good evening, a nice weekend. And boy, we'll sure watch for you and maybe pick you up on 17 too, Jerry. Best to you, best to the XYL and the family. And have a very, very, very nice weekend, good DX. Zulu Sierra 2, Jungle Line, this is Kilowatt Zero, Delta Golf. Ciao, ciao, Jerry.
Yeah, it's 18.145 plus or minus. Sometimes we got to drop down slightly. Sometimes we got to go up slightly, depending on if the frequency is clear. But it's every day, Monday through to Friday. We don't go on Saturday and Sunday, but every day, Monday through to Friday, 19:30 Greenwich Mean Time, the four of us get together and have a good time. Bye-bye, Dick. Take care. God bless.
73s, Jerry. K0 Delta Golf is clear.